Alright guys, my name's Adam VanOrd and I want to welcome you guys to another live at 9:45. Tonight I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Mr. BeefTubes himself, Dan Davidson. And I see a bunch of you already logging in. I've got about 20 people so far right now on the live feed. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, and I totally appreciate the support. I want to get this fired up and get Dan in and get talking to him, but first I want to talk about a couple things. So first off, you're watching a live interview with one of the bigger names in our scale community, Mr. Dan Davidson. We do see your comments pop up, but they go so fast we can only see 2 at a time, so we don't usually respond to them until at the end or afterwards. I'll go through and I'll type you back a bunch of comments and things like that. Additionally, please keep things PG. It's a family-friendly show, and I want to kind of keep that the whole idea of what's going on. A couple more items to talk about before I bring Dan on and get this thing fired up is, one, check out our YouTube channel. All these interviews are bumping over there unless I have a guest that has a problem with that, and so if you were a past guest and you have an issue, please let me know. If you're a current guest or a future guest, that is my plan, and you'll get that in writing as future people get info. Additionally, check out all my social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, my website, you name it, and I have a... Where's the beef? I have a giveaway going on over on the VanOrd Customs Facebook page. If you haven't been there, you need to comment on that. A chance to win one of those sweet Scale Garage banners, perfectly free. And so I'm going to turn my music off here and work on bringing Dan in so we can get this thing fired up. All right. Here. Get to my questions. Bring my computer a little closer. Hey, how's it going, man?
What's going on?
Not much. How you been?
Good. Ridiculously busy. No complaints, though.
I was going to say, that's good news, right? Ridiculously busy?
Right.
So, are you all dried out from the weekend?
Yeah, little mud, little rain. It was all good, though. I don't think it bothered anybody at all.
No, what would a scale event be without a thunderstorm? I mean, that's
right.
It doesn't make any sense otherwise. So let's start this thing out by telling us a little bit about yourself. Who are you, so on and so forth?
Well, obviously my name's Dan. Everybody knows that. 38 years old, married, got a son. He'll be 6 here in about a month. Born and raised just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. Still there, doing my thing. That's about it.
Awesome, man. So how long have you been in the RC hobby in general?
I've been doing this for probably, I'm going to say a little over 25 years.
Okay. That's been a minute. So who, yeah, who or what got you into the hobby?
When I was a kid, had a neighborhood kid. He had I can't remember exactly what the name of it was. It was a Radio Shack Nyko little buggy, and we'd bash it around out in the dirt piles and stuff, and that was the beginning of it for me.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. So what was your first hobby grade RC car?
First hobby grade RC was a Tamiya Stadium Blitzer, little stadium truck. Got it on Christmas, I don't know, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Stayed up all night, Christmas night, putting it together, waiting on the battery to charge, which took 4 days.
Right.
And it was awesome. Got a Futaba Magnum pistol grip with it. I thought I was just top dog at the time. I'll never forget, I got it all built and, couldn't wait to paint the body. Slapped it all together, got to take it outside and run it, turn the radio on, plug the battery in, and the old Magnums had your 2 trim knobs, dials. Well, as a kid, you turn them all the way up, it goes faster, obviously, right?
That would make sense.
So, power it up and the thing just takes off. I had the old mechanical rotary speed controller, it pegged wide open and it was gone. So needless to say, it was broke before I ever got to drive it.
Well, I mean, for that first experience, clearly something hooked you because
Oh,
keep coming back. So
right.
right. What would you say if you weren't into RC as big as you were? What do you think your hobby of choice would be?
1-to-1 off-road. I've got a buggy. Been doing 1-to-1 and riding four-wheelers for a long time. I don't have time to really do it as much as I would enjoy doing it right now, but that's probably what I would focus on if it wasn't for RC right now.
Yeah. So the buggy that I've seen before in pictures and stuff from K&K, that one's yours?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That sounds like a good time. I think if I could afford to or had the means to make it in that direction, I would totally try that out. So
Oh, it's a blast. It is an absolute blast.
I 100% believe it, and hopefully one day down the road, maybe that'll be a possibility for me. But it's not in the cards at the moment, so tiny trucks it is. Let's talk about the next question is big tires or small tires, man?
I really don't have a preference when it comes to that. I would say in the past I've always been a 1.9 guy, but XL 1.9s. Actually, I'm building now since the K&K TTC with their Class 0 that they started up. I'm building a TF2. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
That's going to be my first tiny tire rig that I've ever had, owned myself, and pretty much driven.
All right. Well, welcome to the club, man. They're very different. So people think that like the big tire stuff just drive over everything, but I'm telling you, when you take a truck that shouldn't drive anywhere, even on flat ground,
Right.
and then you put it on a course, and people are like, you have to try to drive this, just to see it do it. Like it's such a struggle, but at the same time, if you can power through the struggle, it's so fun. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, all right. Brushed or brushless?
I've always been brushless. Don't have an answer as to why.
Yeah.
Don't really know why. Guys, they make fun of me because I love my wheel speed. I break a lot of stuff at the same time. But I'm going brushed in the TF2, and I actually had to call Mr. Holmes himself and get updated because it had been so long since I had even messed with a brush motor that I was clueless.
Right.
So that's what's going in the TF2, back to brushed, and we'll see where.
Yeah. No. I think that one of the answers that I get a lot is that each one has their place, and I think that you're kind of saying that when you say that you're going brushed with the TF2. It makes sense. The low end.
I've lost your audio, Adam.
You still don't have it at all? All right, hold on. Let me see what I got going on here. Give me a second. All right.
Can you guys hear him? Can you hear me?
You got me now?
I cannot hear Adam.
Still can't hear me. Awesome. Technical glitches are super fun. All right.
Hello.
I guess we'll restart. I don't know what to do. So, all right.
All right, everybody says they can hear both of us, but I cannot hear you.
They can both hear us? They can hear me, though? All right. So they can hear me. Let me see if I plug this back in if you guys can still hear me. Because that'll give you a little better sound from me. Can you still hear me?
Nothing.
Dan can't hear me. Sign the questions. That's funny.
Talk through comments. Yeah, Todd. You want to talk about sleeping bags?
So, all right. Let me turn that back up. All right. You guys
You want me to bounce out, Adam, and come back?
Yeah, I think let's do that. So, we'll try that. We'll try him going out and coming back, and we'll see what happens. I'm not real sure. I can close him out, actually. So I'm not real sure what's going on. I'll bring Dan right back in. It never fails, guys. Technical glitches every time. So, all right, let's bring him back in and see if we get it up and running. Uh-oh, where'd he go? There we go. All right. All right, can you hear me now?
There we go. I can hear you. We're good.
I don't know what happened, so.
My phone blew up with messages like all at once. It was probably that.
Oh, yeah, no, that'll happen. So if you're getting messages and stuff, that happens. The other thing, guys, and as much as I appreciate all the likes and all the stuff on the side, that tends to freeze it too. And I don't know why. Like, Facebook wants that to happen, all those likes and things, but it freezes it every time. And I'm not sure what's going on there. So comments don't. So keep on commenting, but take it easy on the likes and all of that. So, all right. So we were talking about, what do you like most about RC?
Honestly, the people. I don't know. The people, the scale community is just amazing. The guys and gals and kids and old men and young, I mean, just all across the board, it's flat full of good people. I've done a lot of RC racing, from A scale on road, 10 scale off road, and I quit all that because of the people, the politics. It was just ridiculous. And what I found with scale is there's not really such thing as a bad person, and that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really haven't run into any negative people, anything like that in the scale stuff. So I'm pretty excited that goes in a good way. So in case some people missed this somewhere along the way when I was talking about it or when we posted it or whatever, but you are the guy behind Beef Tubes. So where did Beef Tubes come from, and how did it all get started?
Many don't know, I actually did not start Beef Tubes. It goes back 2010. And a lot of guys in here, they're probably familiar with RC Crawler, and they may be familiar with two guys. Their screen names Gunner and Casey Jones. They actually, Gunner was the manufacturer, and Casey was kind of the PR guy, public relations. And at the time, they had just the standard steel SEX10 version 1 tube. They even spelled tube. They spelled it TOOBS, which who knows why. But I run them in all my rigs at the time, and caught word that they was quitting for whatever reason. So I reached out to both of them and just asked for permission if I could basically make them, because I wanted to continue using them in my rigs. And
right,
here we are today. So I just corrected the spelling, created a logo, and ta-da, it happened.
Yeah. So I'm going to pause off of that for a second. I see some people saying things are working great. Some people saying they're not working so great. Guys, I hate to ask you to do this, but if you're frozen, if I'm frozen for you or something's not working, try coming out and back in. Facebook just updated. The iOS just updated. So, there's bound to be some technical difficulties going on. I woke up this morning and Facebook was different than it was yesterday. So maybe I need to change my day. They seem to always update on Thursdays. It's wonderful. So anyway, Dan, that's an awesome story. And so I thought I knew that, but I wasn't sure that I knew that it had started somewhere else. And then you kind of were able to step in with permission from the other people and kind of take things over and run with it. And run with it is what you've done, man. So
right, yeah. A lot of people don't know that, and I don't take credit for starting it because I didn't.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I hear you completely. So, is Beef Tubes your full-time job?
I wish. I truly wish it was. It's not. I work in natural gas utilities full-time. Been doing that for 12, going on 13 years now. Beef Tubes is mainly just a way for me to support the hobby that I like and to fund the hobby,
Yeah.
But maybe one of these days, hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, I hear you. It's crazy, though. So I'm going to ask an off-the-cuff question because it is what it is. But have you noticed that you did it to start and fund a hobby that you like? Now it's kind of taken over the hobby that you like because that happens?
It has 100%. I don't get to enjoy. Now, I don't say I won't enjoy it. I don't get to drive as much as I used to drive. When I go to events, I'm usually focused on, running the booth and helping people out and helping the event out. And when I do get to drive, hey, that's cool. But if I don't, I'm cool with it too. Because like I said, I enjoy the people, so we can sit around and just talk about RCs all day if you want to.
Right. I hear you. And I think that a lot of people who get to that point kind of come full circle there and want to talk and hang out and do that, as opposed to like the driving then becomes secondary. It's kind of a unique thing I'm noticing going on. So I have a question from a viewer, and it was, what was your original product, and where did the inspiration come from?
The original product was, like I mentioned earlier, the steel, just standard SCX10 tubes. Then we noticed that SCX10 don't turn, and we found a way to do the XR mod. So that was probably our first original, since I took it over, probably our first original piece. Still offer them today. They people love them.
Yep.
It's kind of sad to see that SCX10 version 1 is getting kind of pushed away, because I know a lot of guys still love that truck and parts from that truck. So we'll see what happens there. But that was, the XR mod was probably our first, since I took it over, our first piece.
Yeah.
And now we're, oh heck, I don't know, we got over 50 products now. It's nuts. Yeah,
it keeps growing, man. I keep waiting to see what's coming next. So it's definitely interesting. And when you talk about the regular SCX10, that's what, I mean, my unicorn truck, that's what it's all based around, is the SCX10. I love it. I have no problems with it. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just because I have all the pieces, so I don't have to buy more. Did you ever think that the beef tubes thing would become as big as it has become?
No, honestly, I did not. It's kind of shocking, actually. Guys, I get compliments all the time, and I'm honored when people, leave positive feedback about a product or send me a message. Hey man, you're doing great. Keep it up. Because that's not why I do it. I mean, I do it because I like doing it. And I don't know. It's just, I think it's cool. I don't know how to say it. Just, like I said, when you get a PM from somebody you've never met, you never know, and they say, hey, I just want to let you know I bought X and it works great, and thanks, keep it up. That's great. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've had a few of those for random different things, and they're great when they come out of nowhere, and especially when it's someone you don't know, because you know that they went out of their way, and so it kind of like reignites the fire and pushes you further ahead.
Right. Yeah, that's actually what I wrote on my little notes here. I use it for fuel to keep doing what we do. So
awesome. So I have to pause for a second and say that you might have one of the scariest RC part names to Google. Do you have any suggestions for future search engine patrons and they're Googling so that they don't end up in some scary places?
Yeah, right. Add RC to the end of it. Beef Tubes RC. Website's, stupid easy to find, beeftubes.com. But if you, for some reason, just want to Google beef tubes, add RC to the end of it. Because I guess in England, beef, that's a beef tube is a thing. It's how they sell ground beef. It's like in a tube, which kind of like a sausage, roll here in America. So you'll probably find some of that, but you'll also find some stuff that, make sure your kid ain't looking over your shoulder when you hit enter.
Right. No, I typed it in the website, and I was like spell checking, making sure the first time, and I was like, man, this is a sketchy website. But it totally isn't, guys. You can go there. It's okay.
That's funny because I went to
products, but
right. I attended a camp in Illinois 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I don't know if you've seen my trailer. It's got a wrap on it, the Beef Tubes logo and whatnot. And I'm cruising up the interstate, in the middle of northern Indiana. There's absolutely nothing. And my phone dings. I get an email. So I read it. And it's from this random person, said they passed us on the highway and got curious, obviously, wondering what a Beef Tubes was. So they went to the website. They still couldn't figure it out. And they was wanting to know if we did artificial insemination on cows.
I mean,
That's the greatest. That's the greatest one I've heard.
I guess, yeah. I don't know how they went to your website and like checked out all the products and still didn't figure it out and thought that's what was
Right.
going on.
Right.
So that's unique and interesting, man. I love it.
The name works. I mean, it does what a business name should do. It draws attention.
It sure does. What do you like most about running beef tubes?
I like the interactions with the people, getting to travel to the different events and, put names with faces. We all chit chat here on the old book of face and online, and you never really know who you're talking to. And I've met so many people that I've dealt with and done business with for years. I mean, just this weekend at K&K, I met Cody from CB Fab. Been talking to Cody forever. We finally got to put a face with the name. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is awesome. So on the flip side of that, what is your least favorite thing about running the whole beef tubes thing?
The time. It takes a lot of time. It's a one-man operation. If any product you've bought, I've physically touched and packaged and stapled the header card on. My boy, he'll be 6. He helps count screws. So if you get a pack of 5 or 6 screws, you're only supposed to get 4. Whatever, you got a bonus. But that's the worst part, is the time that it keeps me away from the family. I spend a lot of time doing it. So
yeah, I hear you. I completely understand that. So I have another viewer question, and this one I gotta say slowly. It says, how much beef would a beef tube tube if a beef tube could tube beef?
Purple.
Amazing answer. That's right, by the way, everybody out there. Purple is the right answer to that. It's 100% correct. So, let's talk a little bit about what went on last week. So you got back from the K&K TTC5. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Maybe for anybody that missed that it was going on or whatever, or like a quick recap of events, some of that stuff.
Simplest thing is it's 3 days of an absolute blast. I mean, it's a go-to event for those that have never been. I don't know, Kirby, if anybody wants to know exact numbers, get with Kirby. But I believe it was 399 registered rigs, which is amazing. One short of 400. And like I said, 3 days of family-oriented, just clean, muddy, not so clean, but just fun. And I mean, it's amazing to see that many people come together to play with tiny trucks, all in one location. And, Mother Nature, she tried to get us again, rained on us, turned everything to mud. Everybody hates the mud pit at a TTC. Well, little do they know they was running in a mud pit on the trail course. But it didn't seem to bother anybody this year. And that's what's cool. I mean, we ran the 2.5 class, which is, to you Sorka guys, class 2 trucks. I think we finished them up at like 2:45 Sunday morning. And we started at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. I mean, nuts. And everybody was smiling the whole time. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's awesome that you have the capabilities and the wherewithal to run that late into the evening and just keep going too. So, hats off to Mike and all of that stuff. So
hats off to the guys that stepped up to judge. I mean, we don't have a set group. We've got a core group of judges, but Kirby, he'll go around and, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Don't tell him nothing, because he'll snatch you up, throw a clipboard and a timer in your hand and put you to work. So, but everybody steps up. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately I couldn't make it. I just had too many things going on, but it's on my list, man. Like, I was so jealous watching all the live feeds and the pictures pop up, and oh my gosh. So the only thing I wasn't jealous about was the massive rainstorm in the middle there, but all the rest of it, wow. So,
Right.
uh, so how long? I mean, you help out Mike and the Kirbys, and you help out with the event. How long have you known Mike and the family?
I met the Kirby family going on 5 years ago. I missed the first event. I
Okay.
wasn't at the first event. Didn't find out about it till after, and met them while they was preparing for year number two. And it's funny, you meet somebody that I don't know. We're brothers. I mean, the two of us. It's amazing that we're so much alike. I don't know what makes us click, but there's nothing that's going to separate us now. It's one of those
Yeah.
things.
Awesome. What makes all of that so unique? Like, I know that event is huge. I know that people come from both sides of the country there. That the big names of the like companies are coming. What makes everything about that so unique, man?
And that's a tough question. I believe it's flat fun. I mean, it's family fun. It's I really don't have a great answer for that other than the fun.
All right, awesome. So, how many RC vehicles do you have in your own personal collection that you have at the moment?
I counted. It's right at 10. I don't have a whole lot actually.
Yeah.
I've got new ones. Like I'm looking at a HPI Venture it looks like a bomb went off in it, and a TRX4. But I picked those up just so we can design parts for them. But
Yeah.
in my personal, like throw a battery in it and drive, probably around six.
Okay. Yeah. That's like the ballpark of where I'm at. I don't know how people can have like 40 or 50, and how would you even know where to begin, like to work on one? Like,
Right.
I, mine are all broken half the time anyway. I only have like six of them, so I can't imagine 50 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Same here.
anyway, so let's talk a little bit about your rig that I saw some pictures of from last weekend. So you built a bug. I'm not sure if it was specifically for that event or just like kind of your go-to truck, but man, it looks so mean. And is it kicking around? Can you show it off? Can we talk a little bit about what's going on with it? Any of that stuff?
Man, I wished it was kicking around. It's not. Kirby's in here himself. He can go unlock my trailer and grab it out of there. It's still at the RC farm. I built that. That's a new build. I ran the body last year on a build an SCX 10.2. This year I wanted something different again, so I picked up a Corrupt Carbon Works Land Shark chassis, and I named mine the Land Carp. Threw a set of the VP portals on it, new incision shocks. It's basically everything about it was new. The bomb-proof transmission,
Nice.
And I had not driven it at all. I built it, plugged the battery in, sat it on the carpet, forward, reverse, left, right. Hey, everything's working. And didn't get to drive it until the TTC. And man, the rig's awesome. I mean, it's just it. Anybody that knows me knows that when I'm on the course, I like to have a good time, and I'll drive goofy and just have fun. I don't need a trophy. I could care less. But we had 141 class 2.5 trucks, and I took
Yeah.
I think 11th place out of that, and I don't run scale points either. So I was shocked. I mean, the truck flat works. And I wish it was sitting here in front of me so I could show you, because
Yeah.
I've had a ton of questions about it since the weekend. Everybody, hey, take your body off, show me pictures, blah 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 blah. But we'll get there. But
Yeah.
it's an amazing little truck. And the Volkswagen body, that was a joke. I was at the hobby shop last year when I was building the truck, and a good friend of mine was there, and he's like, "What body are you going to run?" And I always ran the C10, the Proline C10 body. I said, I don't know. I said, go
Yeah.
over there. They got hundreds of bodies hanging on the wall. I said, go pick me one. And he come back with that Volkswagen body and sat it on the counter. He's like, you won't run this. So here we are. And I see a lot of them now.
Hey.
A lot of guys running the Volkswagen bodies. I think it's cool.
So the bugs do one cool thing is they tend to land on their wheels eventually. But as far as yours, like I always like looking for something unique, and then I always define it as it has to have the look, so it has to look mean, and you can't you can't define that. Like you can't say build it this way and it will look mean. It just has to be
Right.
that way, and it has it. And so I as I was flipping through pictures, that was one that caught my eye for sure. So
I appreciate that, especially coming from you because you built some pretty nasty looking rigs. So
thanks, man. I
that's a
appreciate it.
compliment.
I can't. I don't know. I just have to. They have to look away, and I can't define it. Like I couldn't tell anybody how to build one that looks mean. I commented that one time on somebody had a post like, "What's the most important part of a scale build?" And I said it has to have the look, and people thought I was nuts. So I don't know.
Yeah, what is the look?
I can't define it. I don't know what it is. It just has to look right.
You can't do that.
So what is your favorite build out there or truck out there that is not specifically your own?
There's one, and 2 years ago I fell in love with it, and it's not really it's a 6x6.
Yeah.
A guy by the name of John Kiefer built it. He used a Tamiya semi cab, and it's a flatbed, and the thing was absolutely beautiful. You know, had the all working lights, had the sound in it, and as a matter of fact, I think he moved it. I know he shipped it out to Rodney Wills from Axial. Well, when he was at Axial, he come to the event last year. He fell in love with it and took it home with him. And I don't know where it's at from then, but I pestered the heck out of John to get that truck, and it's somewhere now, but it's not here.
All right, man. So right now I'm going to pose this question to you, but I'm also going to pose it to the all these comments I see streaming that are going on and all the people out there watching. Forums or Facebook, and why one over the other?
That's a great question. If you've been in the hobby for any amount of time, forums was awesome. RC Crawler was awesome. It's just kind of, I don't know, and you see conversations about it on Facebook all the time, you know, what happened to RCC. I believe the whole photo bucket thing kind of killed it.
Yep.
But the build threads were amazing. You know, one place you could start a build thread, or not, even if it wasn't yours, you could go to a build thread, read it, go through it, see what people was doing, how they was doing, what they was doing, and get any information you needed. And still, you can search archives still. I mean, you just don't get the pictures, which kind of kills it. But then on the other side, Facebook, social media is cool. If you just want to share something real quick, you know, chat with somebody real fast, throw up a picture, it's awesome for that. But I miss the forums. I really do. And, you know, we got Scale Builders Guild. They got a good forum out now. But it's more of a scale thing. And I know some guys ain't into so much scale as they are as competition. You know, we're taking our class 2 rigs and making shafties out of them, but yeah, it is what it is. But I would say forums is probably my favorite.
All right, man. What advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out in the hobby?
A new guy or gal, I would tell them find somebody local. There's probably RC. It's one of those hobbies, scale RC. If you don't know about it, you won't know about it. You have to know somebody that does it, you know, to get into it really. So find a local. There's bound to be a local club to you, or a local group of guys, 3 or 4 guys, gals that do it. Hang out with them. Ask as many questions as you can. And another thing, go attend events. It's people. I've noticed people are, I don't know if they're timid or scared or what. It's they hear competition and oh man, no, I just want to watch. No, don't just watch. You know, I don't care what you drive, bring your rig, sign up, get out there and drive, and talk to as many people as you can. That's the best way to learn. I mean, you can, like we were just talking about RCC, you could get on there and read for days, but if you don't know what you're reading about, you know, what are you learning at that point?
Yeah. No, I hear you, and I think that one of the things you said is something I just want to echo again: is go out to events, local events, big events, whatever the event is. Go be with the people who are like in it and excited about it
Yeah.
and passionate about the hobby, because that passion is like super super oh my gosh, I lost the word I'm looking for. But it rubs it like it passes over to you, and you become passionate about it as well. So it's contagious.
Right.
That's the word I'm looking for. Apparently I can't speak tonight.
And it's when you get out, I mean, the camaraderie, like we mentioned earlier, the people in this hobby are amazing. Um, I'll give anybody an honest opinion about any product part, my own, somebody else's. I don't care whose it is. But and it helps because new guys they want in here.
There we go.
We ride each other hard about tires. You know, I run Proline tires, and he gives me a hard time about it, and it's all fun. With that, if you go to your local events and see what guys are running, there's a reason they're running the parts, be it tires or whatever. There's a
Yep.
reason they're running what they're running, because it works. So that'll keep you from wasting money,
Yep.
buying something that just doesn't work for you.
I agree.
And then the friendship with it are a bonus as well. So,
All right, man. So you're frozen on my end. I'm not sure if I'm frozen on your end, but I'll just keep this going. We only have a few more to get through, and we'll be kind of heading up the end here. Um, where do you see the crawling community heading in the coming years?
I honestly think it's going to keep growing at the fast pace that it's growing now.
Okay.
The last, I don't know, probably 2 years, it's taken off like a rocket, and I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon, honestly.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think it's on like this huge upswing, and I don't know when that's going to change, but it's definitely moving.
Let's hope it keeps going.
Right? I'm with you. So my next question is, do you currently have any sponsors other than yourself, and why have you chosen to represent those companies?
I do. I've dropped a bunch because, as we mentioned earlier, I don't get to drive
Right.
as much as I wish I could, and I don't feel right, representing the company and not being actually out there on the trail and on the rocks as much. But obviously, Beef Tubes, duh.
Yeah.
Team K&K, we support each other. Proline and Vanquish are my current sponsors, if you will.
Yeah.
And I don't do it. I don't do it. Discounts. Anybody that has a sponsor knows it's not about that. Hell, my Proline tires I buy from my local hobby shop. I don't even buy them from Proline. So it's just. But why? Why did I choose the ones I choose? It's those are companies that I believe in. Companies that they offer products, good quality products. They stand behind their products, and I wouldn't be. I don't know. Not ashamed ain't the right word, but I would try to promote those brands to anybody.
Right.
And I found that their stuff works for me. So and it should work for you.
Right. Absolutely. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the standing behind people you believe in, and if the stuff works for you personally, then it should work for other people, and you sell that to people because that's what you truly believe, and that's awesome.
Right.
What should we expect to see coming next from Dan and from Beef Tubes?
We got a ton of new products coming out. I just finished up the protos for some TRX portal covers.
Sweet.
SCX 10.2 brass C-hubs, Ascender brass knuckles. Let's see, HPI Venture, Beef Tubes. I mean, the list is ridiculous. But with that, it's hard. What do you pick to manufacture next. You know, guys give me recommendations all the time. Hey, when you going to do this for this? Well, it's on our list. You know,
Right.
it's just like, you know, we're a small operation and we do what we can do. But, you know, if and right there's a comment, the GOM tubes. I've got a GOM buggy sitting right here, and I will make tubes for it. You know, but it's just it's one step at a time. But we've got our laundry list is just stupid long right now because of how the hobby's growing. I ain't complaining. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining.
Right.
It's awesome, but you know, we can do what we can do. So just if there's something, a specific part that you or a rig that needs some attention, let us know, and you know, we'll be glad to see what we can do.
All right, man. So did I miss anything? Is there anything you'd like to add? Because this is kind of your portion of what's going on, and we'll go from there.
I don't think you missed anything. I don't really want to add anything. I guess guys are making fun of me. You know, I'm the type of guy that I'm in bed at 9 o'clock, and what is it? It's obviously after 10 here. So.
Oh yeah, it's 10:30 where I'm at, so it's super late for you.
Oh Lord, we'll have to call off work tomorrow.
So it's funny you say that. Sometimes my interviews, I had one interview go till I think like midnight, and then I wasn't done answering comments till like 1:30.
Wow.
That was nuts. Like.
Yeah, but you're off all summer though.
I am now. Like that's fine, but that wasn't when I was off. So, but
now if anybody, like I said, if anybody reach out to me or us, send me an email, you know, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll chit chat with you, whoever, wherever. I don't care. Like I said, the people are great, and if you want to talk RC, you just holler at me.
All right, man. Well, if you don't have anything else to add or any of that, then I will kind of close up the show by saying thank you for being on and allowing me to interview you. I genuinely appreciate it. I run a bunch of beef tube stuff, and I don't predict that I will be building other rigs in the future without them. So I can't. I'm excited to have been able to interview you. That's for sure.
Absolutely, Adam. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody's support. If it wasn't for, you know, you guys and these guys that are tuned in watching, we would be nothing. So
right. So
hats off to all of them.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'll close you out, and then I'll finish up my show, and we'll move on from there.
All right, man. Great. Thanks for the opportunity, Adam.
All right. Thank you for being on. I totally appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, let me just finish it by closing things up here a little bit. First off, check out all of my social media stuff. We have the VanOrd Customs Facebook page. Right now there's a big giveaway going on for a scale backdrop. That ends on Monday, which is, I believe, 6/18. You're going to want to get in on that if you haven't already, I promise you. So, additionally, check out our Instagram. You will see things starting to pop up there. I got something planned for tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it done, so you're going to want to be checking in on our YouTube channel, so VanOrd Customs. And then lastly, check out the website. If you haven't been to my website, yes, there are things for sale over there, but I also have linked these videos as well as some YouTube stuff. And I did start talking about some scale photography, but I kind of fell off on that and didn't finish it. But it is what it is. So, last but not least, I have a couple people coming up here in the near future. I have Eric Dye on the 21st, and then I have Brad Perry scheduled for June 5th. I am currently looking for people to fill stuff in there, and I need to get busy on that. But otherwise, I genuinely appreciate you guys all tuning in. Keep doing so, and we'll go from there. So, check out the YouTube for past episodes. And make sure that you subscribe so that anything that gets uploaded there, you get a notification for. I would greatly appreciate it. Last but not least, I want to thank each and every one of you who tuned in and who will tune in the future. Without all of you guys and your support, I wouldn't be doing this, and I genuinely appreciate it. I literally get to sit here once a week and interview some of the biggest names of the people that in this hobby who I thoroughly enjoy talking to, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you guys for your continued support, and I will catch you all next week on Live at 9:45. Thanks. Have a good night, guys.